You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Okay, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. And if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, this is exactly what you don't want to hear. Keep in mind, Deshaun Watson's dead cap hit, if the Browns were to have to release him or cut him, is $65 million per year from here on out, and it would be a gargantuan. It'd be well over $100 million in a dead cap hit. Really, you can't get out of this. You really can't. So keep that in mind going into this. We got two parts. The main part, Deshaun Watson. Before we get to that, very quickly, if I am a Cleveland Browns fan, this makes me very nervous. But this report just came out, and it's from The Athletic by way of Steelers Depot. Despite leading the team to the postseason after being decimated by quarterback injuries, quarterback Joe Flacco is, quote, almost definitely moving on from the Cleveland Browns. That is per The Athletic's Zach Jackson. And this is the exact quote. Quote, Flacco is almost definitely moving on as Deshaun Watson is returning. Well, as of right now, it looks like he's returning. Keep in mind, there is another lawsuit out there against Deshaun Watson. There is one lawsuit. The woman will not drop it. She has kept it going. She said she refuses, and she is not going to back down. She's been very clear from the beginning that she wasn't going to let this go. So here we go. It looks like Deshaun Watson is going to be called in to testify again in this massage case. And keep in mind, Florio points out as we go into this video that absent a settlement or dismissal, the remaining claims against Watson will go to trial at some point. Although he has been suspended 11 games by the NFL for the allegations, the league has not completely ruled out the possibility of further punishment given the evidence that could emerge in the remaining cases and or eventual verdicts. That is the way this has been from the very beginning. There was always a chance he could end up suspended again. Nearly 3 years since the first lawsuits against him were filed by multiple women, Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson might have to testify again in one of the remaining cases that accuse him of misconduct, sexual misconduct during massage sessions. An attorney for a woman who sued him in October of 2022 recently asked a court in Harris County, Texas, to compel Watson to testify in another in-person deposition before August 1. Watson last appeared in a deposition in the case in Houston June 9th, but a new court filing states the woman's attorney ended it after 2 hours and 14 minutes because of Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, improperly instructed Watson to not answer certain questions about the cases, such as whether he had been sexually aroused during massage sessions in the past. Quote, plaintiff seeks an order from this court compelling the redeposition of defendant Watson in order to propound allowable discovery and have such answers produced, said the court filing submitted by David Bickham, one of the women's attorneys. Now, this is his remaining lawsuits. The plaintiff in this case was the last of 26 women to sue Watson in civil court and accuse him of misconduct during massage sessions when Watson was playing for the Houston Texans. Hardin says Watson sometimes had consensual sexual encounters during massage sessions, but denied wrongdoings. Watson then reached confidential settlements to resolve 23 of 26 lawsuits. Of the 3 others, one was withdrawn by the plaintiff shortly after it was filed in March 2021, and the 2 more remain pending. This one and another one filed in March 2021 that has no apparent trial date. The allegations upended Watson's NFL career, but he was never arrested or charged with a crime. He didn't play in the 2021 season, then was traded to the Cleveland Browns in March 2022. After the NFL investigated him, he was suspended for 11 games under a settlement reached between the league and the NFL Players Association. In the case, Hardin has aggressively denied the woman's allegations that he pressured her into oral sex. The Houstonian hotel in December of 2020. In Watson's deposition, Hardin blasted one of the women's attorneys, Anessa Wynn, during their dispute about her questions to Watson. According to a partial transcript filed in court last week, Hardin appeared to reference how this lawsuit was the only one that was filed after Watson settled the other cases in 2022. It should be noted, the one I was talking about where the woman will refuse to back off and she won't let it go is the one that's left over from March 2021 that does not have the trial date, not this one. Quote, not only is your lawsuit irrational, it has no value at all, but we are not going to be trying other incidents in other cases, Hardin says to Wynn. According to the transcript, there is no secret in the world that he was sued by multiple women and settled multiple lawsuits. But we are not going to try those cases again. We're going to be answering questions about other cases, all of which are subject to confidentiality agreements. And it goes on to say, you jumped in at the last minute. The evidence is going to show and has shown already with filings just what a bogus lawsuit this is. And you can't just file lawsuit against a man that has money and then go into any and everything. It's not going to happen. So he's saying that this woman, and obviously that's going to be the reasoning that Hardin's probably going to use and probably did use to fight most of these, were money grabs. The only problem is, and this is what I always tell anybody, because, I'm always skeptical of these kind of lawsuits. Almost always. Michael Irvin, it smelt like crap from the get-go, all right? I didn't trust that lawsuit labeled, thrown against him for nothing. I usually don't. But when you got 26 of them, when you got that much smoke, and we had the New York Times article that came out that said there was actually upwards of 100 women and over 60 that they could actually pinpoint down the names and blah. Something really sinister was going on with this guy. All right? There was something going on. We don't know what it is. But the fact that, the Cleveland Browns gave him $230 million and this was going on is, it's just brutal. And now you're facing possibly the idea of not having your backup quarterback that might arguably start for other teams and led your team into the playoffs. You might not have him. I mean, what do the Cleveland Browns do? Do they give a fatter than normal backup contract to Joe Flacco and try to get him to stay? He's made it clear he wants to play. So I don't know what the Cleveland Browns do. Clearly, this is a disastrous turn of events. This attorney, the other person's attorney, obviously wants to ask him some very specific questions that Rusty Hardin doesn't want to have his client answer. So here we go again. It looks like he may have to go in. This is, if you're a Browns fan, you just got to shake your head. And it's not Browns fans. Browns fans are great. They just, my God, I was pulling for that team like crazy last year. But it's Jimmy Haslam and this disastrous decision he made. Because, I mean, you watch Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy and these guys, and you're like, Deshaun Watson's not taking that team to the Super Bowl. He's just not. As of right now, he's the third best quarterback in that division. And if the Steelers actually do go get Kirk Cousins, he'll drop to the fourth best quarterback. I mean, it is what it is. Keep in mind, there's been nothing since he was with the Texans that indicates this guy has still got the skill set he had in that last year in Houston. He's had, one and a half good games out of all of these games that he's played in. Think about that. And look, he's had one really good half and another pretty good game. Pretty good. If you want to look at it and squint your eyes, you could say it was pretty good. And the league, NFL, might not be done with him. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.